Nothing but an LLC and no history of sales.
That's awesome.
Welcome back to the 100 Millionaires Podcast. My name is Walter Morello, and I'm your host with my amazing co-hosts, Michael Shine and Mitch Jorsky. Mike, bring us in.
Massive income from passive income. Happy New Year in 3 days. Woohoo!
Mitch, how do we do it?
We organize and we collect going on into 2023, which is coming this weekend.
Yeah, it's the new year, so we're celebrating a lot of things. We've generated a lot of income this year, and we're also celebrating some new technologies. ChatGTP is changing my life. It's very controversial right now. There's a lot of people out there who are cheating on tests in school, cheating on reports. There's bloggers who are getting less creative. Not myself included. What I identified with ChatGTP is that it's got some flaws. It's got some things it can't do. So for anybody who's a writer and concerned that this thing's going to replace you, probably, yes, if that's all you do is boring writing. But if you have this unique skill, then you're going to be fine. And Neville Goddard, right? We were talking about Neville Goddard earlier. So there's a book Mike just got us to buy called Power of Awareness. So I got one goal.
Brenda, way before I knew who Neville was, Brenda just said, she's always reading a new book, and she was reading this, but then I joined a mastermind, and lo and behold, they sent me the same book. So I said, geez, I better jump in and read it again. And it's really hitting.
Mike, how much you pay for that mastermind?
$5,000 a month.
$5,000 a month. And what is the intention of the mastermind? What does it do?
It gives you your C-type goals, which is like whatever you put in there, say you want to be a billionaire. But it's not as much like some of the other ones that are very like Grant Cardone is very like, let's get you a bunch of units. This has a lot of the mindset stuff, Neville Goddard. And I love it because the people in this mastermind are all shooting for 100 million or more net worth. So
top earners,
and it's good to be in that room. And I've already gotten some opportunities because of that room that will actually pay for the fee every month. So no brainer.
Amazing, right? So masterminds, they work. Mitch, you haven't watched that video from Jordan Peterson yet on ChatGTP yet?
I have not. I am curious.
GPT or GTP? I don't know.
GTP. I'm on the site right now. So basically, in fact, if you look at the description on Facebook and YouTube, I wrote that description using ChatGTP.
Awesome.
Because it is a pain in the butt to write these descriptions every time we do a podcast. It's like, well, what are we talking about today? So I just told it, this is what we're going to be talking about. Please write me a description. And this thing just started typing away. It starts, it takes a little input. I didn't like something I said. I changed it. I just told it like, okay, adjust this. And now it adjusts it. It's like,
yeah, somebody's listening. You can sort of give a little explanation. It's artificial intelligence that scrapes from all over the web, or maybe not all over the web, but it uses all that stuff out there, and you just give it a few suggestions, and it can write a blog, it can write a book for you, it can write a title for you, it can, yeah.
So basically, it's not connected to the internet. Like it's obviously on the internet, but its database is not the internet. It's not scraping the internet. What it's doing is it's got a big reservoir of information. It's got a big folder, a big file of information that it can go back and research. And so it puts out the data for you. So what's happening is it puts out the information in an average format. This is why teachers are having a hard time. It's not putting it out like high-level professor grade communication. It communicates average. Because all of the people it's trained on are average people. So the way it communicates, the way it speaks is to an average person, right? It's SAT scores. They did an SAT test on ChatGTP, and this thing came out in the 70s. Right? It's SATs, like it comes out kind of, average. It's not special.
Cool.
So if you want average grades, now where there's an AI where you can put any question, it will give you an answer and you can submit. So teachers are now concerned, well, how does this, like, this now means that kids aren't going to learn how to communicate or speak without the AI. And it's just like, when we learn math and they were like, you can't use a calculator for this test. And to me, it's like, well, why not? I'm never going to do this math in my head. I will always have a calculator present where I'm going to do this math. And to this day, the math I do, I can't do in my head anyway, right? We're using spreadsheets. It's so complicated using spreadsheets.
I just had a thought. It kind of reminds me of Elon Musk talking about the bot. He's like, so the bot is going to go out there and it's going to take care of all the boring and mundane work. And then everybody started panicking and saying, well, wait, now nobody will have a job. But what
you won't have a shit job.
Shit job, exactly. All the crap you didn't want to do on the internet, GTP will do. And then you can be free to use all your human creativity, the greatest minds in the world, and go add to it. So I'm optimistic about it. I love it.
Same. And this is the thing with all AI, all automations, like humans still have the ability to create new ideas. We have conceptual thought, which the computers still have a challenge with doing. And even with like robots, general robots, they have a real hard time getting the dexterity we have with our hands.
Right.
Like they really struggle with the dexterity of like all the movement that we have. So robots have to be designed specifically for a single task, and they can outproduce us if they're specifically designed for that task. But they can't, like when I worked at Johnson & Johnson, we had CNC machines all over the place, hundreds of CNC machines that would create these very, very specific tools. But we had weird things that still took a human being to do, right? It still took a person, one, to code the machine, and two, to insert the material that the machine used. Like it was still like weird shit that like you'd think just a conveyor belt could do this. It still took a person to unload the truck and inventory the articles. It still took a person to take the raw material from one plant and bring it over to the other plant. But those will be worked out. Those little things will be worked out because the plant produces a very specific thing. When you change something, now everything changes. All the structure changes. If you're no longer we used to put the patellas together for knees. So if you're no longer putting patellas together, the plant's useless. It can't do anything. So machines are very good at automating, like you said, Mike, mundane, repetitive tasks. But creative, when you're forging new ground, we don't necessarily have that technology to know what to do with land that's just vacant land, right? If the AI is all it does is build 3-story houses, then yeah, perfectly fine. You bought the land, it's going to level it, build 3-story houses. But if, for instance, a convenience store belongs there, or maybe a shopping mall belongs there, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have the ability to do that unless it's been programmed to create those things. And our 3D printing houses is just nowhere near that anyway.
Well, you can produce the box, right? I mean, in the end, custom design, right? That's where the change is.
Custom design, the inside of the house, the custom exterior, all the finish work on those houses is still done by a person. The plumbing is still done by a person. The electrical is still done by a person.
Right.
Flooring, like there's still a lot, like all finish work, anything you could see basically that like humans would be looking at is still being done by a person, because the machine itself looks very boring, because that's human mind, right? If we see something enough times, we get bored by it.
Right. I always think about that with deer. Like I never see deer that often, so every time I see a deer, I get excited. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. But I think like with squirrels, squirrels are as cool as deer, but you see them all the time, so you're not as excited.
They're absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
But if you see them all the time, you're like, yeah, it's
whatever.
Street rat, forest rat.
Yeah.
So ChatGTP, what it's going to do?
Well, I just want to say, let me interrupt, because before we got on the call, we were playing with this, and we were talking about Neville Goddard, and we just said, well, let's do a podcast on New Year's goals, and let's just throw in Neville Goddard. And I don't know if you still have it up, Walter, but the stuff that ChatGTP came up with is just phenomenal. It just blew my mind.
Yeah. So I said, write a post description of the 100 Millionaires podcast. Please include brief bio for each of the hosts, Walter Merle, Mike Shine, Mitch Jorsky. And then I said we were discussing the New Year goals and the power of beliefs of assumption. And I wrote this sick response. And I added what is a catchy headline for the podcast episode that includes Neville Goddard and the ultimate goal for setting setting for the end of the year. And then it gave us these 5 different options.
I just had a thought, like, so I'm an attorney, and when I started, I worked in this law firm. Could you imagine you go out with your friends, you stay out late, but you have to give something to like the senior partner the next morning? And you just say, here, he wants to know about, I don't know, adverse possession in the state of California. I bet you if you did that, it would fire, like, it would be great for lawyers, is my point.
So
because
the new tagline, Chat GTP, helping you keep your job since day one.
Yeah.
Helping you party and
Awesome.
keep your job since day one.
Right.
Hashtag go humans.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
For that.
I mean, here's the other thing. You could be like, basically the information in here. I did a lot of research on like real estate investing. And so I was like gauging what its bias is, and it does have a fucking bias. Like the AI absolutely has a bias when it comes to not real estate, but investing in general. It
What's the
speaks like a
bias?
financial planner.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's because how much content is out there, who puts the most content, the people who are paid to put content out, the people whose entire career has been financial education, right?
That makes sense.
Financial planners have the internet flooded with, well, this would be considered high risk, and this is, acceptable risk. And if investing in real estate is a great asset if you're willing to take on the risks that are included with real estate.
Right.
Like I have articles that I was just going through, and I was like, well, give me your opinion on this and wealth building.
Can you tweak it to say,
Yes.
I want to write something for an investor, but I want it to have an aggressive bent. Like can you do that?
I want it to have an aggressive voice towards
Yeah,
this. Yeah,
exactly.
It gives you a correction. It says giving emotional bias or having a bias in a conversation is unethical. But here's what that would look like.
That's awesome.
So
It's brought to you by the Financial Planners of America.
So I went into my marketing strategy, right? I was like, hey, create a polarizing message for real estate investors who want to, for realtors who want to invest in real estate, because that's who builds millionaires, right? Realtors who are investor friendly. So I was like, fucking create a biased message. I want a polarizing message that I can share.
I like it.
And it said polarizing realtors is immoral, unethical, or something like that.
However,
all right, like
however,
it didn't however me.
it wouldn't give it to you.
This is the sentence that it says when I said create, my word for word, it's exactly what I said. I said, create a polarizing message that will attract highly motivated real estate investor friendly realtors to join Alchemist Nation in the mission to building 100 millionaires per agent. I'm thinking clear as fuck. Just
Yeah.
say. It says it is not appropriate to create a polarizing message or to try to attract people by manipulating their emotions. Instead, it is important to present information clearly and accurately and to allow people to make their own decisions based on their own motivation, their own interests and motivations. In the real estate industry, it is important to build trust and credibility with clients and colleagues. This can be achieved by being honest, transparent, professional in all communications interactions. It is also important to respect the diversity of opinions and experiences of others and to strive for inclusion and fairness in all business practices. So somebody has gone
Holy
in and
crap.
programmed this to be nice.
They
That
built
guy used to
morality
work for-
into the database.
That guy used to work for Twitter. He got
Yeah.
fired by Elon.
There's a good chance that the creators went in and said, because when you log into this thing, it straight up will tell you it's possible that the things that are said could come across as sexual harassment. They could come across as
Yeah.
like racism or sexism or bias, because it's like, this is just what's out on the internet and it's just using that information. So I think what they're doing is they're trying to curb it a little bit so that it doesn't have as much as current existing society and has a little bit more of what we want society to be more like, which is more understanding, more empathic. But the challenge is I do want a polarizing message. So
Right.
I had to do
right.
some research.
Can you say a word that's not so polarizing as the word polarizing?
Yeah,
Like,
I
can you
absolutely
use
did.
word like
Controversial.
Here's what I did. I
like
said,
leaning, like aggressive leaning.
what I said is, it likes to give information. So instead, I went down the path of inspiration, motivation, right? So I said, please list reasons a realtor may decide to build 100 millionaires. Start with motivation. So it gave me 5 different reasons. Personal satisfaction, helping others achieve financial freedom is a rewarding and fulfilling experience. Professional
Cool.
growth, building a reputation as a successful real estate agent who helps clients achieve significant financial goals can lead to increased business and opportunities for growth. Number 3, community impact. But like, this thing is saying all the same stuff I've been saying.
Yeah.
Building 100 millionaires can have a positive impact on your community, as those individuals may be able to contribute to the local economy and support charitable causes. Number 4, financial reward. While helping clients achieve financial success is not the primary, while helping clients, achieving financial success is not the primary motivation for most realtors, it is possible that assisting in building 100 millionaires could also result in financial reward for the realtor. It is important to note that realtors should always prioritize their clients' interests and needs above their own, and to act in an ethical and professional manner at all times.
Nice.
I love this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It got me going. So it gave me 5 reasons that a realtor might want to build millionaires.
Yeah.
So then I asked,
Hey,
what marketing message would attract successful community leaders with the above motivations? And it started giving me the answers. So I had to get away from the word polarizing and just ask correct questions.
Can you demonstrate, like, can you share your screen and just demonstrate just something simple? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Happy
So-
New Year, like telling people Happy New Year and just see what, something like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
How to express happy. What can I share on Facebook to wish my community a happy new year? So let's see
Perfect.
what this thing
Perfect.
comes up with. Right.
I love this thing. It's so cool.
So it says, here are a few suggestions for what you could post on Facebook to wish your community a happy new year. Number 1, a heartfelt message expressing your well wishes for the new year and thanking your community for their support and friendship. 2, a creative graphic or image with a new year themed message, such as Happy New Year 2022, or here's to a bright and prosperous 2022. So my guess is the data they took is from last year. So there's a good chance that the data is old, right? We're catching some of that. Number 3, a video greeting from you or your team featuring footage of festive celebrations or messages of hope and positivity for the new year. Number 4, a series of photos or photo collage capturing memorable moments. Guess what I might do now? Memorable moments from the past year, accompanied by a caption reflecting on the past and looking ahead to the new one. Or number 5, a polar quiz asking your community to share their New Year's resolutions or predictions for the coming year. So it's smart. It's like, it's got that. Give me an
Look at the
example.
little advice at the end. Look at the little advice at the end. That's funny. No matter
What
what
does it
you
say?
choose to post, please be sure to keep it positive and inclusive and to use appropriate hashtags so that the message can reach as many people as possible. Happy New Year.
It's sick.
There you go. 100 millionaires New Year's poll.
Yeah.
So what is it saying? Sure, here's an example of a poll you could use for your
Oh my
community about
God,
their
this
New Year's
is-
resolutions.
This
You
is
wanna read that one,
mind
Mitch?
blowing.
This is sick. Like this
I
is
just
great.
love it. I just love it.
So this is how I do a lot of my base research now on psychology. Like as of yesterday, I spent 3 hours just going in and getting market research because it knows things that I like, and a lot of it I do know because I've spent so much time around it, but it was able to organize it and clearly put like things that it includes everything. It is just very, very aware, which saves a lot of time for research. I'm telling you, I spent 3 hours between this and my other AI writer. I was going back and forth between both of these and building out like just core belief systems for Alchemist Nation, what are the different things, like different different ways to build wealth. There's like 12 different topics that came out, different ways to build wealth. And so I said, write a blog article for each one of these. And those blog articles got written. So now I'm going back, I'm adjusting and tweaking, and I'm going to put our own stuff into it. But the idea is that we're able to save so much more time because this software goes out and says, this is common. It's average. Like, it helps me reach the average person, because here's some humility. That's who I struggle with. I don't remember what it's like to be average.
I kind of like it. I was just thinking for business purposes. So we have Alchemist Title that we're working on. So you can go out and just put like, create a flyer. Create a flyer for a title company.
I can get the words for a flyer. There's still the graphic component to it.
Yeah, but I'm saying all that stuff would be done, and then you just put a picture of someone at the closing table. Who cares? It just that can be like a month-long process if you didn't have this type of thing. You really sort of agonize.
It's a pain in the butt. So all of our websites, right? Like this is the first website we've actually implemented this on is workwithinvestors.com. So if you go to workwithinvestors.com and you look at the copy on that, it's much better written than all of our other websites, and it includes SEO, it includes keywords.
Wow.
Because I didn't have ChatGTP before. I had another AI writer that was giving me basically similar, although GTP is way faster. And I'm probably going to go rewrite that copy again on the website, just because I want it to be compelling. I want it to easily be searched on the internet. So I'll be adding a whole lot more to the website itself, so that the SEO is friendly, like it's working. In the past, we've always operated with short websites, like very narrow, short websites, just to the point. Here's what we do.
Yeah.
But it turns out you need a lot of words on your website for the internet to search you.
Right.
So I'm going to be adding stories, blogs, educational facts at the bottom of the website, so that people can kind of go through the process of why working with investors, how it makes sense, why we do what we do. And this makes writing all that copy much easier, because I can make sure that it's putting in keywords that I want, attonated.
Nice. Hey, so back to
Anyway,
Neville Goddard's The
I'm
Power of
over
Awareness.
it. The AI is insane. Let's go to Neville Goddard.
So I'm just saying, it's kind of funny that the name of Neville's book is The Power of Awareness, because it really is the AI being aware and working upon itself. It's kind of cool. So maybe the AI gets its own awareness, but meanwhile, while that's going on, be aware that you create your own reality. Everything that's happening outside to you is actually what you're doing inside. I definitely recommend reading this book. It's mind-blowing. Yeah.
So New Year's resolutions, Mike, what would you say if you're going to resolve something and be resolute about it this year? What is the one thing that for certain you're working towards, you're attaining this year, like in 2023? And Mitch, same thing for you, brother.
Business-wise, it would be the Alchemist title.
Just one.
Alchemist title.
Alchemist title.
But I mean, from an emotional point of view, it's to be more aware of my emotions and keep myself on a high-flying disc as much of the day as I can. That's the key.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think I'm going to hit all my financial goals and relationship goals and physical body goals just by vibrating at a higher level. Like that's 2023 is be in a constant state of joy and get better at identifying those emotions and
I love that.
And being more in line. So as soon as Dorina left, even before Dorina left, I was already focusing on what I want to accomplish over the next 5-10 years. And so like with her gone, I'm really spending a lot of time in meditation, like deep focus, like core beliefs. And then I just want to, like, by the time I'm still with the putty, it's still molding, but I'm gonna put it in the oven before Dorina gets back, and then share with her what the brick looks like.
That's awesome.
And then go off in that direction so then it's just stay at a high vibration with that belief system, belief system, like not changing anything, like nothing will adjust. It will just be, I'm only choosing core things that can't change, the big rocks.
And one of the things we talked about before we jumped on was the fact that you don't have to worry about the how. So set your goal, whatever it is, and the universe will take care of the how. And Mitch, what's your quote? Be firm with the goal, be flexible with the
Oh,
goal.
the Bezos quote. Yeah.
Yeah,
Be
what is it?
firm. What is
Unyielding.
it? Be firm with your vision and flexible with the details.
Yeah, because I mean that's the how. It's such a liberating thing to think that if you want to get to like 100 millionaire status, just put it in the vortex, and the how is taken care of by someone more powerful than you.
Mitch, New Year's resolution, brother.
I mean, I was kind of just thinking about it now because I was going to contemplate later today with the delays getting back from New York. My plans to do that Wednesday got pushed back, but obviously continue to increase passive income. I'm definitely publishing a book in 2023. Most likely early 2023 because I'll probably just finish the 401k book because I think this is
I
the
wanna read it.
appropriate time for it with the market being down, and people probably need to do a little adjusting, reallocation, and pruning in their 401ks and their IRAs and whatnot. And I think there's tools and strategies in the book for that. So I'll probably put that
Awesome.
out. But yeah, I want to write another one outside of that. So we'll see. Probably, I think, in fact, we'll make it official on the podcast. In 2023, I'm going to write a book that is appropriate to be one of the book of the weeks for a 52-week wealth principle.
We
Nice.
got you locked in, man. 52 Weeks to Wealth has a book each week. And actually, since we're talking about this, Mike, your book is now officially Wealth Principle 22. So the Power of
Yeah.
Partnerships is now represented by Fast Track to Millions, the Power of Partnerships. So,
Boom.
Sweet.
so
Sweet.
it's
We
very
gotta get-
cool.
We got to get that thing printed now.
Yeah. So actually, just
2023.
you can go to Amazon and you can get the Kindle version, and we'll get the 2023. We'll have the printable version coming soon. Paperback first, and then we'll probably go hardcover.
Nice.
Awesome.
And to go back to what you were saying
Mitch is
before we
gonna
log
take
off,
another space.
what is it?
Mitch is gonna take another space in like 52 weeks.
Yeah, there's a couple of books that I think are suspect out there right now. There's one for sure that I know Mitch would fit really well. There's another one that is just suspect. And even Gary V's book on I had
Crushing
Crush
It?
It in there.
Yeah.
Like that one, because it changes all the time with social media. So like I want something that's gonna be a little more timeless for doubling down on your marketing.
Gotcha.
So there's a couple of principles that I know for sure. Like Mitch identified where we have Ray Dalio's book Principles. Nobody reads the book; it's too thick, it's too big. So that's a book of challenge.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
right?
a book that I think, is worthy of being on the list. I just think that it fits better somewhere else,
Mm,
like the wealth principle that it's on. So,
Yeah.
no, I mean, I don't know. Like, I've never read Extreme Ownership, but that
Oh.
wealth principle that goes with that book actually might be a really good place for principles, because that's what
Yeah,
principles
I've
really
considered
is.
the
It's
same
you're
exact thing.
building that framework that essentially is, transparency and extreme ownership.
Yep.
See it for a second.
So, but it's also,
Hey, I
what
want to
book do
show you
take
while
off?
we're sitting here what Brenda's reading right now. Okay, talk about Ray
Holy
Dalio.
crap.
So this is called The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. And
like-
look how thick it is.
It's like 4 books.
And then he learned from Thomas Troward, who was like the original OG mindset mastermind. Thomas
That
Troward,
is
the power.
bananas.
in
What is that,
you.
like
So-
1,000 pages?
Yeah, right. And a lot of the stuff that we got, like Earl Nightingale and all these people, Bob Proctor, all came from Thomas Troward. So
Man, I got to move to Roatan so I can just sit on the island and read books all day.
yeah, right.
So I'm gonna put
I'll
this
be
out.
I'll be there
to-
in 2.5 months.
I'm gonna put this out to everybody who's listening right now. So if you're listening, go to Alchemist Nation, go to alchemistnation.com, and right at the top, we're in the featured
That's
section.
right.
Just scroll down, go to the featured section, scroll to the right, hit 52 Millionaire Wealth Principles. Take a look at these 52 wealth principles, right? And the book that is associated with them. So 22 now is Seek Out Strategic Partnerships. You can see we've got Fast Track Your Millions, How to Profit Through Partnerships by Mike Shine.
Ooh, I don't know if
Yay.
that's not updated everywhere because when you go into events and from there, it's still got the old book. So just an
Events.
FYI.
Where is events?
So if you go on Alchemist Nation and you hit events in the top left,
Yeah.
yeah, hit events, and then click 52 Weeks of Wealth. Now scroll down a little bit. Now click, nope, scroll back up. Click 52 millionaire book. You see the banner, 52 millionaire books.
Oh, because you're going into books.
Click that.
Got it. Yes, that's another article I wrote that I have not updated.
So yeah, the book page needs to be updated.
The book page needs to be updated. So
Oh,
go to-
actually, I was looking at that. I should look at the principles because maybe some of the books I was seeing are not the same books anymore.
we may have made some
Right.
changes.
Yeah, because we put like Terry Wager's book in there, trying to
Yep,
get
Terry's
all the
book is in
coaches,
here now.
all the coaches' books.
Oh, so yeah, that
Not all of them. We're working them in as they apply.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're
Yeah.
working on it. Yeah.
yeah. So
Steve
that
Sims
page,
in
the
there,
books
'cause
page is
I
needs
have a feeling I'm
the
gonna bring
VA
Steve
needs
Sims
to
in one
update.
day.
Nice. I love Steve Sims.
So here's what I'll say. If you're listening right now, go look at the list, and if there's a book you'd suggest or a book you'd like to change, drop it in the comments. So you can write down here. You can share your thoughts with us. Drop in the
Awesome.
comments a suggestion for a book for Mitch to write on, a topic for him to
Yes.
write on, or a section that you don't think the book really like emphasizes that topic very well, and maybe Mitch could write that book in between, because Mitch is kind of an expert on a lot of things. So go to Alchemist Nation and drop it in the comments on the 52 wealth principles so that we
Awesome.
can figure out or get your feedback at least. Otherwise,
That's cool.
we're just gonna pick one. And
Plus, we get new books. We get to hear all this advice about new books. It's always fun to get new
New
books. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. So we gotta jump.
Yes.
Michael Stein, take us out of here.
Massive income from passive income. Happy New Year, everybody. See you all in 2023.
Indeed.
Mitch, how do we do it?
We organize and we collect, and we do that every year. So come join us and learn how. 52 weeks to wealth tomorrow, Saturday, 10 a.m. Be
Go to
there. be square.
ibuildmillionaires.com to register for the 52 weeks to wealth. Remember, the point is not to work, it's to generate income. We're on a
I
mission
love
to build
that.
100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. Cheers to our success. When you have a choice,
Yes. Always work.
Always
with
work with the best.
later, gentlemen.
Hi, guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy
I'll
New
see
Year.
you in the morning. See you in the
Yeah,
morning.
see you in the morning.